Hello, the purpose of this video is just to give you a little bit of technical help on how to manage files in the promotion tenure, pre-tenure, post-tenure section of the Interfolio suite. I will note that typically when you enter Interfolio section, that you will be on the home page. There are some things on my home page that are that I can't hide, that I shouldn't show on a video. So I chose not to be on the home screen, but just realize that if you're on your home screen, you should see a task that looks much like what is right here on my screen. And it's just there, and you can click on that to get into your case. The way I have gotten to this screen is to go down here to the review, promotion, and tenure section. Then I clicked on cases, and then I can see what cases I have. So also keep in mind that sometimes my side menu will look different than your side menu, so don't let that worry you in any way. These little gray titles, Faculty 180, those are your annual report sections. If you're on a search committee, you'll have faculty search, so that's where the applications would be. And then since we're working on a video about promotion and tenure, it's going to be down here at the bottom. So in the cases, here's my case. I'm actually using the template for tenure and promotion, but for what we're doing, it does not matter what the template is. You're just going to go in and work on uploading and the like. So here I'm in my case, and so all the sections of my case are here. I have the right to expand them all or collapse them all. So if you know you're already working down towards the bottom, collapsing all might be helpful so you can jump to where you need to. Before you push the case forward, of course they will all say unlocked so that you can add things. Once you send your case forward, that means you're totally finished. And when you pull that down, it's going to say to the department chair. So in this template, the next person it goes to is the department chair. Could be a committee that is going to next. It could be to the dean. So it's just the next person or group in the chain of command. So it will then say locked, but you will still have access to your case. You just can't see the application letters, the review letters, until those are shared with you at the appropriate times. So here are all the sections in this particular template. There are more or less in some of the others. There are sections where you're really only supposed to load one file in each area. So for example, in tenure and application letter, there's one required, and so that's all you can load in that section because you should have one letter. I would suggest that you think about your file names as you're loading them, although I'm going to show you how to edit them in just a second, just so that it makes sense not to you, but makes sense to the people who are looking at your portfolio, and in the end, who are downloading all of your files and archiving them at the university level. So I realize you're in your account. I realize that it is your letter, and people can see things here that shows that it belongs to Beth Costner, but there is value in doing something like Costner B tenure letter 2022, so that when it is downloaded, the individual can see what letters, what files are what more easily by the titles. The other thing I will say is some of these templates are used for multiple things. For example, this template is used when someone's standing for tenure only, tenure and promotion, or promotion only. So the person who pushes out the templates does try to make sure that they delete sections that you don't need. But if you see a section and it says required, for example, if I was only standing for tenure and it says that, oh, wait a minute, I'm supposed to have a promotion letter required, that doesn't make any sense, just reach out to the dean's office. We can fix that even as you're uploading things. We can't really see what you're uploading, but we could fix, hey, that shouldn't be there, and we can delete it behind the scenes. So I have added this file. It doesn't really have a great name, I might think, so I could go in here and edit the settings And so then I could change that to something like Costner B, oh, lost my highlighting, Costner B. You can put a space, you can put an underscore. I've sometimes found periods and dashes don't work well, so keep that in mind. I'm just going to put a space, I'm going to put tenure letter, and I'm submitting this in 2022. So I've got that in there. And then I'm just going to update it, and boom, it's going to be there. This can sometimes take longer or shorter, and so now it has the new name. So I really think thinking about your file names before you upload is the best, but you can do it anytime. There are other sections where there are things that are required, but you have to have it. This 1+ means you have to have one, but you're likely going to have more than one. And so you can upload files in groups, you can upload files one at a time, so it gives you, some flexibility there. Once you have the file in the system, you can reorder them. So this particular section has to be in chronological order so that it's really helpful to have the date first. So I'm going to edit my settings here, and I'm going to remove the fall so the date is first. And so then it's going to be really easy for me once I get things loaded to make sure quickly that they're in chronological order. And oh my, I can't count. And so I just get the little finger symbol, and then I hold down my mouse key, and I can then reorder the files. So let me show you how to add something. I'm just going to go ahead and add some more to this section. This feature works the same in all. So I find personally that going ahead and changing everything to a PDF is helpful, but it's not required. The system will change what is appropriate to a PDF as it's processing. So I'm going to pick a couple of files, and so I'm going to put that one in there, and I'm going to hold my control key down, and I'm going to put that in there, and then I'm going to come down here and find one more add that one in there. And so then I can open, and these processed really fast. So you just saw a really flashy green bars going by. Sometimes files, if they're large, take longer than that. And then you're just going to save them. Then when you go back to that section, you're going to see these little wheels going. You could be working on uploading in other sections. I probably wouldn't upload more than about 10 files at a time because that can really clog up the system. But if you have things in folders on your computer, you can select whole sections of a folder, and if there's less than 10 files in there, you can select all the files in the folder and upload them at the same time. And again, just remember, you can grab the item and move it. You can edit the item, and I'm going to change and put a date there and update it, and it's going to update in the system. I don't use the change sections part. I'm not saying don't use it, I just haven't found it very helpful. I have found that deleting the file if I put it in the wrong place and then uploading it again is just a whole lot easier. So if you delete it, it will warn you, hey, do you really want to delete this? And say yes, and so then that file is gone. So that's about it, guys. Again, when you're finished, you're going to go up to the top, pull down the send case, and forward it to whatever committee is or person is next. If you again have any technical questions, please direct those to the college office, the dean's office. If you have any questions about content, those should always really start with your department chair.